Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we are doing 1987's Wall Street.
Straight cash, homie!
Straight cash, homie.
This movie stars Charlie Sheen, Miachael Douglas, Martin Sheen, Daryl Hannah, James Spader.
A quick appearance by Sean Young.
But this movie starts off in 1985, New York City, the boom of the indulgent 80s, I guess. And yes. Charlie Sheen plays Bud Fox, who's this like young junior stockbroker at a firm called Jackson, Steinem and Company. And his days are filled cold calling and trying to get, these doctors and whatever to buy his fucking penny stocks or whatever the hell he's shilling out that day.
He's the bottom bitch of stockbrokers, basically.
Exactly. He's a step above the guys in Boiler Room.
A sale is made on every call you make. Either you sell the client some stock or he sells you on a reason he can't.
I mean, he's basically a telemarketer at this point as a stockbroker. His hero is Gordon Gekko, played by Miachael Douglas. He wants to be Gordon. Everything that Gordon Gekko is, he wants to be. Knows everything about him, and he's this legendary, Wall Street player. And that's how this movie kicks off. And it opens with him in the Jackson Steinem offices making cold calls, and one of his clients basically just gives him the "you never called me." So he gets hit immediately with a $7,000 loss on this stock from his company. It cuts to him meeting with his father Carl, who's played by Martin Sheen. He meets him at a bar for drinks. And in casual conversation, his father brings up this, because his father's like a maintenance foreman at an airline called Blue Star. His father brings up that there was remember the crash last year? Well, the FAA is gonna clear us of all wrongdoing. It's not out in the news yet, but that's gonna happen. So that's good for the company. And it's just in a casual father-son kind of chat. How's work going?
PSA number 1. Hi kids, Uncle Corey here. If you consider yourself a player in the stock market at all, meaning I want to maybe buy some stocks one day, and you hear some juicy information that nobody else knows, and people tell you specifically nobody else knows, go ask Martha Stewart how that shit turned out. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's
just pass on the easy buck and move on. Don't even suggest it to a friend, because that'll fuck you too.
Exactly. And it fucks everybody in this movie for the most part. But
yes.
So Bud Fox goes to visit Gordon Gekko. It's his birthday, brings him some cigars, and he's been trying to bag Gordon Gekko to buy stocks from him for as long as he's been in the business. Calls him 59 days in a row and always gets his secretary or an administrative assistant. And
the 80s when you could just blatantly harass secretaries.
So he brings him cigars, and Gordon Gekko finally decides that he'll meet with him and says, basically, what do you got? And this is a great scene because it opens up to when he walks into the office. Gordon Gekko is on the phone doing deals and getting into the dirty on the phone.
He's doing his best Les Grossman impersonation.
Now, I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory.
Exactly. So he's doing that. He gets off the phone. I'm a busy guy. What do you got for me? And Charlie Sheen gets into his whole
chart breakout on this one here. Whitewood Young Industries. Explosive earnings, a 30% discount from book, great cash flow, a couple of 5% holders.
Miachael Douglas just calls him on his shit dude, I got 50 other guys doing this shit for me. You need to come with something that I don't know. To which Charlie Sheen gives him the information on Blue Star.
Well, there was a crash last year. They just got a favorable ruling on a lawsuit that even the plaintiffs don't know about.
This is where the movie should be called How to Rat Fuck Your Father and Influence People. Because
this is the point where Gordon Gekko's like,
Well, how do you know about it?
I just know.
which Gekko finds out in like 10 minutes that his dad works there, and that's how he got the information.
exactly.
Gekko kind of takes a liking to Bud Fox, invites him to lunch. They talk about, and this is my favorite thing, because in the world of sales, and whether you're selling stocks or trinkets or whatever, salespeople get into this like whole like, hey, like, you got a winner with me.
You're with a winner.
Right.
Kind of thing. And Gekko like just cuts through all the shit, and he was like, hey,
Save the cheap salesman talk, will you? It's obvious.
he likes Bud Fox, but he's like, listen, you're not going to be one of my guys in my inner circle unless you basically do some illegal shit and get me information that nobody else knows by any means necessary.
Right.
And by any means necessary, James Spader plays a lawyer who he went to college with. He finds the cleaning company that cleans their offices and says that he's going to invest in the company and be a partner. All he wants is the uniform to go in and steal fucking documents. And
He's picking through somebody's trash.
exactly. So he can get information that he can then give to Gekko and be in his good graces. He, his star starts to rise with him. Gekko gives him the assignment to follow Sir Lawrence Wildman.
Played by General Zod of Krypton.
Played by Terrence Stamp. And
Oh, is that his real name?
yeah, he.
I always thought it was just General Zod.
Kneel before Zod!
Fox follows him all over New York. He finds out that eats at this place, he's going here, but he gets on a jet to fly to Pennsylvania. And Bud Fox puts the dots together and says, oh, Anacott Steele's out there. He's probably making a move on that. To which Gordon Gekko decides he's going to buy all the controlling shares in this and, fuck over his stock rival, whatever, his Titan.
His stock rival.
His Titan rival. I don't know. Bud shows up at his house while he's having some sort of dinner party. This is the one thing in the 80s. This was a thing. Like these posh dinner parties with gross artwork on the wall.
Yeah, is this the dinner party where the chick picks him up, gives him a toot up the old snout, and then blows him for stock tips? Was that this scene?
I think that happened right before this scene.
Dude, that was so that escalated so quickly.
It did.
It was like, got any stock tips? Well, yeah, I think. Oh.
He basically, Gordon Gekko hires a hooker for him because he's happy with the job he's doing. Sure. But Bud Fox goes to just get paperwork signed, goes to this dinner party, and it reminded me of the dinner party from Beetlejuice. like the seance.
Minus Deo.
Yeah, that's the only thing that they didn't do. Nobody sang Deo in this one. That's where he meets Daryl Hannah and takes a liking to Daryl Hannah, and I don't know why, because she's about as milquetoast as you get.
I'd say Gordon is one of the most astute collectors around.
She's no different than anybody else in this movie. This whole movie, every character's archetype is greed. That's all they are driven by.
Yeah.
Is greed. Everybody but Martin Sheen.
I don't go to sleep with no whore, and I don't wake up with no whore.
Yeah, Daryl Hannah plays Darian, who's an interior decorator, and she's done some work. She's done some work with Gordon Gekko and with Gordon Gekko, and
told him about us?
Oh, are you crazy?
Basically, 3 years ago, she was the chick in the limo giving blowjobs for stock tips, and then she made it up from bottom bitch and is now just like passed off to the guys that can earn over $1 million a year.
Exactly, and now she's buying ugly artwork for them. So and
Yes.
decorating.
Yeah,
their
really.
house.
And okay, since we're bringing up the decorating of houses, when Bud Fox buys his house, he buys a like printout wallpaper of brick and
Yes.
staples it into his drywall.
Yes.
Bro, you're in New York.
Well,
Everything's brick.
So-
like, what are you doing?
I have a
That
side.
was cheap as fuck. I can go to IKEA right now and do that exact same shit, and I'm not putting it up in a $1 million condo.
Yeah, it was like I think
Fuck outta
he
here.
bid like $950 on it. So here's the funny thing, and this was my note on that, because she asks him, Daryl Hannah asks Bud where he lives, and he lives on the Upper West Side at that point. This apartment's on like the Upper East Side, whatever. And she makes fun of his Upper West Side apartment, like,
Home of the exposed brick wall and the house plant.
and then he buys $1 million apartment on the Upper East Side, and she puts fake brick up on the wall as the interior design. Like, you were just ripping on him 10 minutes ago. The fuck is your problem?
Oh, it's nice if you're on mushrooms.
But at this dinner party, Sir Lawrence Wildman shows up.
If you will.
How do you do? And he calls Gekko. He's pissed about the whole stock thing, and he bought the controlling stock. And Wildman tells Gekko at this dinner party in a little private meeting that he's actually not trying to dismantle this company and sell it for profit.
No, this time I'm in for the long term. It's not a liquidation. I'm going to turn it around. You're getting a free ride on my tail, mate.
Michael Douglas responds like Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive with,
I don't care.
I'm taking it from you because I can.
Yeah, so they agree to a deal where Michael Douglas will sell him, his controlling share to Wildman and that kind of thing. So it kind of flashes forward in almost a montage type style over the next year. Bud Fox is making shitloads of money. He gets his apartment on the Upper East Side. He's now dating Daryl Hannah. As he's going through all this and making all this money, he's like the big king shit at Jackson Steinem now. He gets the corner office with the view, and he's king shit because he bagged Gekko as his client, and Gekko's basically his only client at this point. Like,
That's all he has to do.
Yes, that's his only job. So it basically cuts to him and Gekko having this interaction, and he thinks, Bud does, that Blue Star Airlines, he won't let it go. You already did the one stock thing.
Yeah.
Let it go. Your dad and your friends work there. Stop fucking with their livelihood. Like, go fuck up other companies. But
this is where Charlie Sheen's, like, the entire point with Charlie Sheen is everybody's impressed with him but his father. His father could give a fuck less about his success.
Yes.
And all he wants to do is be a big shit to his father, and he's going to do that by saving the airline.
Yes.
And making it huge. He basically wants to turn the airline into fucking American Airlines.
Exactly. And that's his goal. He persuades Gekko to buy Blue Star and expand it.
Now, what I've come up with here is a basic 3-point plan, all right?
They involve all the union leaders, from the flight attendants to the baggage handlers, his dad for the maintenance crew. And during this whole pitch, the other union leaders are like,
well, if you mean what you say, I think we're probably in the ballpark.
You've sketched some broad strokes. I would like to see the fine print. But I like what I hear so far.
I know I said let it go, but his idea is actually a really good idea. It's a good business plan. And his
They're
dad's
going to take a pay cut. You got to increase some hours a little bit.
Yep.
And after a year, we can start to go back to normal.
Yes.
But we all got to take a hit to survive.
Exactly.
I think a lot of companies right now understand that.
Exactly. And then, except for his father, who goes, "Ha, fuck you."
Well, I guess if a man lives long enough, he gets to see everything. I do mean everything.
His father crumbles up the agreement and the business plan and is just like, yeah, this is a bunch of horse shit. Get off my lawn. Which,
yeah,
Bud chases him, like, because he just leaves. He's like, I'm out of here. And Bud chases...
rages. Rages. PSA number 2, I think, for the show.
Yes.
Hey, guys, Uncle Corey again. Just gotta let you know, no matter what your mother or father says to you, whether they disagree with you, agree with you, whatever, watch what Bud says to his father here and do the exact opposite. Never speak to your parent like that. Ever.
No, I know from personal experience. That doesn't go well. Well, Bud basically calls him a loser. When he's in the elevator, he says...
What I see is a jealous old machinist who can't stand the fact that his son's become more successful than he has.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not good. Don't say that.
No. Sometimes when you're in a hole, the best course of action is to stop digging.
Exactly. But Bud Fox later finds out that Gekko's entire plan was to never own an airline. His plan was to just sell this off for parts and make a shitload of profit.
But why do you need to wreck this company?
Because it's wreckable, all right?
His dad's in the hospital and has a heart attack. And he goes in, apologizes. You were totally right, but I have a plan. His dad's like,
okay.
Now, I don't know about you, but if I just had, I think he says it's his 3rd heart attack, but if I just had a heart attack, which was, now we're talking about multiple heart attacks, and it's because of, the fact that I smoke and the job uncertainty, and now my son's trying to fucking tank the company I work for.
My son is liquidating my company.
I don't know that I'd be like, cool, dude, I'll follow you into the fire on this one. Fox and the union leaders privately meet, and they meet with Sir Lawrence Wildman, who agrees to take ownership of Blue Star in return for the union concessions. But Fox is basically taking the information that he got earlier in the movie that Wildman isn't. He's going in a different direction now. He wants to make companies work and profit that way versus just stripping down companies and liquidating the whole thing. And the whole Wildman is like, dude, what's in it for me? Like, why would I want to do this? It's a dying airline, and why would I want to do this? And the only reason Bud Fox gives is...
And in the process, hanging Gordon Gekko out in the wind to twist.
Boom, I'm in. Let's do this.
Those were the magic words, sonny boy.
So he does basically the whole thing that he did earlier in the movie for Gekko, just against Gekko now. Has him and all of his buddies, all of his stockbroker friends buying all the Blue Star, jacks up the stock price, and then when it gets to the height, he leaks news of Gekko's takeover.
Blue Horseshoe loves Blue Star Airlines. Got it?
Got it.
Right.
And then they sell it all and tank the stock price so that Wildman can come in and basically buy it on pennies on the dollar. And
yes,
Gekko decides to cut his losses during this whole fucking spike and decline. And he says,
What the hell? So we only make 10 million.
Sell it. Yes, all of it.
After that, that's when they dump all the stocks. And he loses his shit. Gekko goes into this fucking tirade.
The bid is 16.5 and going down. As your broker, I advise you to take it.
Yeah. Well, you take it. Right in the ass, you fucking scumbag cocksucker!
Bud's like the anti-hero in this.
Well, yeah, because he's supposed to be your protagonist. Here's
Yes.
his arc: protagonist, antagonist, antagonist, antagonist. Fuck it, I'm gonna protagonist and level this fucker out.
And Gekko finds out as he's watching the nightly news or whatever. So he gets pissed, throws something, breaks it. Fox goes back to Jackson Steinem. He's on top of the world. He reads everything in the paper. He's all happy. And he's like in the office like, hey, Janice, or whatever the fuck the secretary's name is. How you doing?
And they're all looking at him like,
I'm having a tip-top day. And everybody is, it's like the walk of shame. It's everybody's got this silent stare. How he doesn't realize that everybody's looking at him like, oh my God, you don't know? You just got, like, it's one of those when everybody knows that you're getting fired on the day that you're getting fired. But instead of he's getting fired, no, there's the SEC and the cops. They're all in his office, the FBI, whatever, and they arrest him.
One friend through that whole place couldn't even be like, are you in? Go! Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Dude, Morpheus was able to tell fucking Neo to get out of that building before he got.
Exactly.
You can't have one guy just be like, yo, hey Caroline, how's your morning? Feeling good. Caroline's like, bitch, fucking go.
Feeling good. Even his like best bud throughout this whole thing, John C. McGinley, doesn't even give him a heads up. He was just like, dude, what's going on here? Like somebody died. And his only response is,
Did somebody die?
Yeah.
how about a heads up? Not a, yeah, dude, totally what you just said. And then back.
I don't need a cryptic message. I don't have my decoder ring, fuckface. Speed that up. I gotta beat feet to Mexico. This is crazy.
Exactly. So
crazy.
He gets arrested, and this is the one thing I really didn't like. He gets arrested, gets cuffed, and they're taking him, the perp walk through the office. And he starts crying. What are you doing? I'll do this PSA.
Go for it, bro.
Hey, guys and gals out there, if you're a stockbroker or in any field for that matter, and you've been doing a lot of, I don't know, illegal stuff and crazy things, and you've positioned yourself as this badass in the office, it's not a really good look to sob like a bitch as you're getting arrested and doing the perp walk through the office. You might want to hold that in. Yeah. Just a little info for you. Hold it in.
Yep.
Dry your eyes. You can cry when you get to the elevator. You can be a little bitch when you get to the elevator. It's not a good look for you when you're crying. And I don't know, it kind of implies that you're guilty too. Like, there's no denying it. You were crying walking out of the office. Yeah, but I didn't do it. Well, then why were you crying?
Yeah. Save those tears for when the tip is all the way in. Not before.
Yeah, because you're going to real prison for this stuff. Like that's
you're still pretty new in the game, and again, you just fucked a lot of highbrow important people. You're going to real prison, Gen Pop, and you're already crying because the bracelets got slapped on you.
Yes.
And it's going to get so much worse before it gets any better.
I don't care if his sentence was a year or 10 years. It could have been 10 days. That's going to be the longest 10 days of his life if he's crying as you're being escorted out of the office in cuffs. But it then cuts to Fox confronting Gekko in Central Park for some strange reason.
That's just where nefarious shit happens. You should know that.
So he confronts him in Central Park. Gekko not only berates him for everything that he did at the end of this movie to screw him over. But he, for lack of a better term, bitch slaps the shit out of him in the middle of Central Park.
Multiple times, while also admitting to other nefarious shit that they did, or that he did, or had Bud do for him.
Fulham Oil, Rand Resources, Geodynamics, and this is how you fucking pay me back, you cockroach?
And Bud was wearing a wire. So...
Yep. Quick point on that. If you notice, Charlie Sheen takes a punch in the same way in every movie. Watch how he falls on the third punch Gekko throws into him versus how he falls in Major League. Exact same. Dude could take a punch and fall like nobody I've ever seen.
That's A+ work.
He should be teaching that in classes. Yeah, that's inside the actor studio shit.
That's the only job he's getting now, is teaching that in classes.
Oh. Yeah.
So... Fox then takes his, recording to the FBI or the SEC, whoever's investigating Gekko. And it basically implies that he cut a deal and he's getting off. Because...
He definitely cut the deal. I was confused at the final end, too, when he's walking up to the courtroom and going, well, I'm going to jail. And I'm thinking, why? You cooperated.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's the final scenes are his dad... and mom driving him to, and listen, I know Bud talked all kinds of shit to his dad earlier in the movie. Here's another sign that your son's a piece of shit. He has his mom sit in the back.
Right.
You took shotgun. You're going to prison. Just get in the back. Let your mom right up front. But whatever. That's just me. But he's talking to his dad about, facing the consequences, and his dad is kind of all of a sudden turned around and like, I'm in your corner, son. And as long as you learn from this, everything will be great. And that's when he says,
Dad, I'm going to jail, and you know it.
But I thought you recorded Gekko, and maybe he's getting a suspended sentence. I don't know. But he treats this car ride like this is the last car ride he's going to have for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Like he's going in.
Yeah.
Like Ed Norton in the 25th Hour going away.
Yeah.
Time.
And
that's just not the case.
No, he's and the other thing that I found strange about the final scene, it's panning back to this wide shot of him going up the stairs into the courthouse. He's got no lawyer. His parents aren't with him. He's just walking willy-nilly up into the courthouse with like, I don't know. I just thought there'd be a lot more like news crews or something, because Gordon Gekko was such a big name in...
Right, but well, he probably wasn't being done in yet.
Yeah.
This was just Bud's arraignment. And I don't get any of it. Like you said, it's not his arraignment because he's already out talking to Gekko in Central Park. I understand none of that end scene. It should not have occurred. It really shouldn't.
No. It
just because Sir Larry, how do you do, gives you a job offer.
Yes.
Like that's supposed to be. There's no point to that end scene.
Yes.
He rat fucks Gordo, turns in the microphone.
Yeah.
And that should be the, if anything, that car ride is like, look, hey, you only got a year because of your cooperating testimony, whatever.
Yep.
When you get out, Sir Lawrence, how do you do, offered you the job.
Yes.
That should be it.
You know it. I know it.
Yeah, that was, and I'll be honest, that was the only thing I didn't really like about the movie, was just, it kind of ended, well, two things I didn't like about the ending was the actual ending of this movie, and the fact that when the shot gets all the way up into the sky, it says the end. Who does that? Like, was that still a thing in '87? Where you had to put the end, like I didn't know it was the end of the fucking movie. Well, and with
thank God the writer didn't put fade to black, or that would have popped up in the screen.
Who wrote this? Fucking Ron Burgundy?
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I'm surprised with as much like of that 80s posh, like over the top. It wasn't fiend at the very end of this thing instead of the end. It was, and honestly, and we do what we do, and does this stand the test of time for you?
Oh, 100%. This is stockbrokers today.
Yes.
This is the game today, 100%. You take out the long limos, because now it's sedans. You replace the Coke with probably an upper, like Adderall.
Yeah.
Same fucking thing.
Yeah. Now, it's as much as things have changed since 1987, this world hasn't changed much outside of maybe, and again, I haven't seen a movie like this. I don't live in that life, but outside of the gaudiness of the decorating, I think things are more understated now in 2020 than they were in 87. 87 was just, it was just about decadence and how much gold you can put on something.
Enough gold. That's enough gold over there.
It's dated in that sense but it does capture that whole greed is good 1980s mentality. So,
and Michael Douglas's monologues throughout this entire movie, every time he gives a monologue, it is fucking choice.
Yes.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Oh, they're perfect.
Yeah.
And they are still relevant. Those monologues could be put into a movie about today's stock market.
Yep.
And brokerages and the way that world works, 100%.
They should have just put those monologues into the sequel to this movie because...
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that bullshit. What I would say, like Wolf of Wall Street, which is a very, very good movie.
Yeah.
I love Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
Is the almost comedy side of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wall Street is the serious version of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. But no, I absolutely, I think this definitely stands the test of time. It's still a great movie. There was a bunch of stuff that I totally forgot about in this movie, like the let's do Coke and let me give you a blowy and get some stock tips. I hate to keep going back to that, but that was the one thing that stuck out in my mind in this movie.
It's a very important scene.
And now I know how to get stock tips. So
that's basically the snake going, no, eat the fucking apple. It's cool.
But no, this absolutely stands the test of time, and God, what a fantastic movie.
It really is. If you haven't seen it in a long time, go see it. It is absolutely worth it.
Yep.
And oh, dude, the greed is good speech.
Yes.
Has to be one of the top 10 monologues of all time.
Yes. Absolutely.
It is so good.
I'll agree with that. And the only, outside of the ending, the only other thing I didn't like about this movie was Daryl Hannah.
But it's not that simple, bud.
Oh, 100% agree.
Her whole performance fell flat with me.
Yep.
And I don't know, that might just be her personality. I have no idea. But it either was.
Well, hey, that's what happens when you take a fin off the fucking chicken of the sea.
So...
Get back in the bathtub, Daryl.
With that being said, do you have anything else?
No, sir. I'm done.
Right. Well, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1987's Wall Street.